Hello and welcome to episode 48 of the HamCorp training manual. In this episode, we will finally set up the printing press to make Fortune 3 books to enchant our loot bags. Hopefully, appeal. We get some ender chests. If not, we will craft them ourselves. Also, we will set up a mercury supply. One of the things we're going to need in fairly large quantities to do this whole printing press thing is experience. So I have been storing it here in the kitchen for a long time. And this quest has been kind of overdue. It's an MV quest. And then the quest that comes after this consumes a stack of emeralds and 8 books to give you an enchanted Fortune 1 book. What we do with this book is we duplicate it, and then we take the 2 Fortune 1s, combine them in an anvil to make Fortune 2, duplicate that, combine those to get Fortune 3, and then we can duplicate those and use them to enchant our loot bags. So let me get these items for the printing press. And now let me trade in these emeralds and books as well. And that gets us our first Fortune 1 book. So the process for duplication here is not exactly laid out in the quest book. It just tells you to go look at the wiki page. But basically what you need to do is, first of all, you set up your stuff. You will also need an anvil. So we're going to need a few more things to actually do stuff here. We're going to need some reading glasses. And we're going to need another print press chase. Or multiple, even. I'm going to put on the reading glasses. This will let me see things better, I guess, in the typesetting table. So now it shows me, when I look at it, it shows me the enchantment that's on the book and the number of levels it requires. So it's 24 levels. I'm also going to place the chase up here. You do need to look at the specific spot on this block to place things in the right place. Oh my god, I forgot how dark it is out here. Oh, that looks pretty cool, actually. Anyway, now I need 24 levels, so I'm gonna go drink some XP. And now to copy this book, I need to shift-click the book with an empty hand. That makes an enchanted plate with the Fortune 1 enchantment. Now this goes into the printing press. We're going to need some ink sacs as well. The wiki says you can use black dye, but according to the quest book, right here, it says only vanilla ink sacs work. Luckily, I have almost a stack of ink sacs, so I'm going to put these in. And then finally, we're going to need some blank books. And then the book goes here. This starts printing, I guess. And it has now, let me get rid of these books, I don't want to make more. This has made another book with Fortune 1. And we still have the enchanted, what was it called? The enchanted plate. It has used some durability. But now we need to make another book, the same one, Fortune 1. And now I have 2 Fortune 1 books, and I've successfully duplicated the book. Now I'm going to combine these to make a Fortune 2 book, and I'm going to repeat the process. So back in the typesetting table, I need 31 levels. And now we shift right click this to make a new enchanted plate. This one is Fortune 2. Finally, we combine these to get Fortune 3. I need some more levels. Remember that the way the level scaling works in Minecraft is it's always better to have exactly the number of levels you need instead of having more. If you're at level 100 and you use 40 levels, that's a lot more XP that you're using than if you're at level 40 and you bring it down to 0. So always try to be as low of a level as you can by depositing your XP using the XP drain. But anyway, let's combine these two. Fortune 3. Don't need this enchanted plate anymore. I will keep them just as some sort of backup, I guess. We're going to need 40 levels to make an enchanted plate out of this. Maybe I should move these over, or maybe I should move the printing press here instead of going back and forth. Whatever. So let's make this Fortune 3 cast, and now we can make Fortune 3 books. Of course, we are going to have to be careful that we don't run out of casts, because these do have a durability, and we don't want to use up all of our Fortune 3 books and then not have a cast anymore to make more. So I'm just going to make a few extra casts while I can, and then the rest of the books I'm going to use to enchant my loot bags. Specifically, IV loot bags. All of these other loot bags I haven't really thought about. I need to look at their loot tables to see what I actually want. But I know for a fact that I want to upgrade my loot bags all the way to IV. So all of my LV, MV, and HV loot bags and EV loot bags, I've been using these quests to trade in 3 of them to get one of the next tier, all the way up to IV. Actually, you can even combine the IV ones to get LUV loot bags, and I believe those are the highest tier. These are great, like these are wonderful items, but what I'm really after is ender chests. And unless I'm misunderstanding what the drop percentages here mean, it is much more likely that you get ender chests from IV loot bags than from LUV loot bags. Oh, actually there is a ZPM loot bag. And a UV loot bag too. Well, don't think you can combine loot bags to get these anyway. So, I've decided to go with IV. I am going to enchant them. Then after enchanting them, hopefully we can get a bunch of ender chests and a bunch of ender tanks. That will allow me to set up my mines on other planets, and I will not have to go back to pick up my stuff. It will automatically bring all the materials straight to the ore processing, and then I won't have to manually ship things around anymore. I mean, I will have to move the miners, of course, but besides that. It does cost an IV motor and a Fortune 3 loot bag to upgrade the loot bag into an enchanted one. So in preparation, I've made a bunch of IV motors. This took way longer than I thought it would, actually, because of all the graphene. Anyway, I need to make more printing casts. I forgot what they're called already. Alright, I have my 26 enchanted IV loot bags. Oh boy, I've been waiting to do this for so long, man. I'm like a fucking crackhead. Alright, let's see what we get. Okay, interesting. This is good. I like the thorium yttrium glass blocks because I think I need them relatively soon for something. Yeah, probably, I think it was the electrolyzer. The IV electrolyzer. Yeah, I needed this. Great. That is very good. IV sensor, cool. Borosilicate glass blocks, also nice. Data orb. Alright. That's an achievement for some reason. Tungsten cables. I think I got more lapotronic chips as well. More of the same. Yes! 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 I got the ender chests. Okay, that's very good. I need more. Ender tanks. Oh my god, I'm so happy. What is this? 16x tungsten cable. Just looks like a block of coal. And that's it. Okay, so I only got 2 tanks and 2 chests, which is... I mean, I got it for free, so I'm not really complaining, but I kind of wish 2 of these ender pouches were another tank drop and another chest drop. But these are some really nice items. Oh wait, that rare earth ore. Uh-oh. Probably went straight to ore processing. It did indeed. I don't know what I actually wanted to do with these. Probably this, huh? Yeah, definitely this. Okay, cool. Just gonna teach this, and then that's that. Now, soon I should start getting some yttrium, which is nice. Okay, I'm gonna put away 2 of these ender pouches because I don't have a use for them, really. And the ender chest and ender tank are really nice to have. I do kind of have an idea of what I want to do with them, but there are some other issues with the ore processing that I need to sort out first. Specifically, I need to add mercury to our storage because we have no mercury. So I'm going to set up some redstone to centrifuge because that makes mercury. And then also I want to move these existing ore processing things and also upgrade them to EV. And then after that, I will talk about why I wanted these ender things so bad. I'll just put them in storage for now. I think the ender pouch connects to the vanilla Minecraft ender chest. I don't know. I'm pretty much just going to use it as another pouch, I think. I'll put it away for now. So, mercury. I'm just going to get my mercury from this recipe. Just going to centrifuge redstone. It's going to get a silicon, which is very nice. Pyrite, which I think I'm just going to store... Actually, all of these solid outputs, I'm just going to store in some drawers and then void the overflow. Because I'm really after the mercury here. And these things are nice to have, but they're not my main goal. So I'm going to make a multi-block centrifuge because it's so much faster. 170 seconds base speed is really bad. So I definitely need the overclocking of an industrial centrifuge. And I think because this processes multiple sets of this in parallel, I'm going to need kind of a large output hatch. Maybe I'll just make an HV output hatch and an HV output bus. This was a pretty quick setup, not too hard. So I have my industrial centrifuge. It's an HV centrifuge. I am exporting redstone dust into the input bus. 42 buckets of mercury every 75.6 seconds. So that's pretty good, I think. Good enough for now, at least. All of that is stored in the super tank. It is immediately being extracted and sent to the ore processor. The item outputs are sent into a drawer controller, which is connected to these 3 frame drawers. So we have silicon dust, ruby dust, and pyrite dust, all with void upgrades on them. Of course, don't forget to set your storage buses to extract only. We don't want to store random shit in here. Here's the mercury, by the way. Mercury has been automated, and the ore processing should be going. Well, it's going too fast. It's we're not making enough mercury to keep up with the demand here, but that's fine. Oh, here it is. As long as it's going, like, I don't care if it's slow or not. Cool, looks like I do have some more things to teach our system. Yeah, you can just assume I'm doing this in the background. Now, before I rip all of this up and redo it, I do want to say, some of these multis have been running out of power. Like this EBF ran out of power. These are fine, I think, but also another EBF downstairs ran out of power. So if we're going to upgrade these to EV, that's going to be a problem, because even at HV, they are running out of power. So there's 2 things I want to do really quick before ripping all of this up. First of all, I want to finally tear down this wall of single block combustion gens. I have been using it, and I don't want to use this anymore. I want to have some more combustion engines. I'm going to start with 2 more, and hope that that is enough. If it's not, I will have to make 4 more. And then for power storage, 162 million. Sounds like a lot. But it's really not, actually, because we regularly use like 16,000 plus EU per tick. That's like 320,000 EU per second. So 160 million is not going to last that long. What is that, like 500 seconds or something? Which is not a lot. I mean, granted, we will also be adding EU to the system, but if this is off and this is just discharging, that's like only 500 seconds of uptime. So I would like to increase my power storage as well as my power generation. And for storage, I'm going to make the lapotronic supercapacitor, which is just such a cool fucking name. I've been putting this off purely because the supercapacitor casings need tungsten steel. But now we have a pretty decent supply of tungsten steel. Or we would if the machines didn't keep running out of power. But I'm going to make this lapotronic supercapacitor. It is a multi-block. And not only is it a multi-block, it's a multi-block with a variable height. So if you want to increase your power storage, you can just add more tiers. But okay, I'm going to get to work crafting. This is a lot of tantalum and a lot of tungsten steel, which means it's a lot of waiting for things to blast, which is another problem I want to address at some point. But anyway, I am off to work. So I just started crafting, and I noticed something about the lapotronic supercapacitor recipe. The shape crafting recipe needs a casing, but the assembler recipe doesn't. I feel like this is an oversight. I mean, I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to use this assembler recipe, but I feel like this is not intended. And also for a second, I was worried about the glass blocks, because I'm planning on making IV capacitors, and I was wondering if the borosilicate glass blocks are too low of a tier, because there is a restriction. The glass shell needs to be tier -3 of the highest capacitor tier. But luckily we can use the borosilicate, no problem. In fact, we can use it for LUV capacitors too. But after that, we're going to have to also start upgrading the glass. Okay, time to set up this supercapacitor. I want to do it without interrupting my power flow to the rest of the base. So I'm wondering how to do this. Well, I have this space up here that I'm not even using anymore. Maybe this could be where the supercapacitor goes. By the way, I did make 16 amp energy and dynamo hatches. These are from GregTech, and these usually don't work with like 90% of multi-blocks in this game. But they do work with this. And I did make IV lapotronic capacitors instead of EV because we go big. Well, I say that, but I didn't make 9 of them, so we go medium. Cool. Now I need to do a little bit of stuff here. I need to reroute the cables, and I also need to redo this RS latch setup. Oh, how did I do this? Oh god. Also, one thing with the lapotronic supercapacitor, it doesn't show you how much power is stored inside. So you need to use something like this, the industrial information panel and extenders optionally with a GregTech sensor kit. This is one way to do it. There are other ways, like also open computers, and then you can write a program and have something really fancy, but I'm just going to use this for now. I'm going to place my information panel here. I also got some extenders, and then with the sensor kit, I'm going to shift right click the control block here. That ties it to these exact coordinates, so if we ever move this capacitor, we're going to need a new sensor kit. This thing is not reusable, and I can put this in, and I need a lever. This is currently not storing anything. It's actually kind of hard to see. I'm going to get some more panel extenders. That is much better. You can also customize which of these lines you actually want to keep. For example, at the bottom there's UHV capacitors detected. I don't really care about that. So I can remove those by clicking one of these, or I guess all of these. So I know that I don't have wireless mode, so I'm just going to hide all of those. I don't need this operational data. That's kind of obvious. The rest of it, I think I would like to see. So this is cool. You can see the average EU in over the last 5 seconds and the average out over the last 5 seconds. Also shows you the time it takes to fill up the whole capacitor, which is very cool. I still need to move the redstone latch and disconnect this old battery buffer. So let me do that now, I guess. Okay, I have set up my RS latch. It's a little different than what I did before, because the lapotronic supercapacitor only has one available face to put a cover on. So what I had to do was put it on the sides like this, and then using a soldering iron, if you shift right click on this, it says redstone output at side north set to strong. What that means is the redstone signal, whatever redstone signal would have been sent out that way, now kind of travels through the adjacent block. And so this red alloy wire would light up. That's what's happening on this side. I set this side to the low of 35%, and this side is the high of 90%. These go into an RS latch like before. The RS latch output goes into a wireless transmitter, and the wireless transmitter sends a signal on channel 1 to a wireless receiver, which is set to turn on the combustion engines. So cool, so this works now. This is going to charge. In 3 hours, it's going to be full. So this is a lot more storage than we had before. In fact, I could probably get rid of all of this now. Now I still need to make 2 more combustion engines, but I mean, you've seen me do this before, so I don't think I'm going to show this. I'll just do this between episodes. And when I'm back, all of this should be gone. Thank you for watching this episode of the HamCorp Training Manual. In the next episode, we will redo and upgrade the existing specialized ore processing lines. HamCorp would like to remind all employees that if there are ever any further questions regarding any of the content of the series, feel free to join the company Discord server where I will personally provide automated responses to your questions. See you next time.